Ladies and gentlemen, Happy New Year and thanks for joining us on today's edition of the 7 p.m. English newscast on Info Television. Our top stories. The Minister Delegate at the Presidency of the Republic in charge of Defense, Joseph Betia Somo, has joined frontline soldiers in Kongsamba to usher into the new year. And in our magazine page of tonight, we shall look at the fact that the year 2025 stood as a reaffirmation of Cameroon's unwavering commitment to democratic stability and constitutional order. Those were our top stories. Details in a jiffy. Welcome back. The Minister Delegate at the Presidency of the Republic in charge of Defense, Joseph Betia Somo, has joined the frontline soldiers in Kongsamba to usher them into the new year. A message of national gratitude and sharing with the forces of the 2nd Joint Military Region made the moment. Jude Kenji was there and now reports.
On the high instructions of President Paul Biya, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, the Minister Delegate at the Presidency in charge of Defense, Joseph Betia Somo, this December 31st, 2025, presided over the national crossover celebrations from the 31st of December 2025 to the 1st of January 2026, alongside the gallant troops of the 2nd Joint Military Region. His mission to the command post of the Field Artillery Regiment, known as ORAS, in Kongsamba, Mongo Division of the Littoral Region of Cameroon, serves as a tangible demonstration of the Commander-in-Chief's steadfast commitment and solidarity with the forces on the front line. Minister Joseph Betia Somo watched the traditional end-of-year speech by the head of state to the nation in the company of a distinguished gathering. This included the governor of the Littoral Region, the commander of the 2nd Joint Military Region, alongside a host of other senior generals, military officials, and respected traditional authorities of the region. As the personal envoy of the head of state, the minister is a bearer of a message of encouragement to the defense and security forces and of solidarity to the loyal population. The crossover evening was elevated by a vibrant cultural performance where the military band animated the night with patriotic songs and dynamic dances. Giving the ceremony a distinct touch, rich in sound and color. This resplendent display embodied the unity, discipline, and high morale that define the National Armed Forces. The festivities also featured the award of prizes to winners of a recently concluded inter-unity sports tournament, highlighting the physical excellence and the competitive spirit fostered within the camp. The celebratory atmosphere culminated in a convivial toast shared between the minister and the troops stationed in this vital strategic sector. This moment of shared fellowship underscored the inseparable bond between the nation's leadership and its defenders. Minister Joseph Betia Somo's presence at this crucial hinge of the year served to fortify the troops, resolve ensuring they entered 2026 with the unequivocal assurance that the gratitude and support of the fatherland and its first defender, President Paul Biya, marched steadfastly with them in their noble profession to preserve national unity, territorial integrity, and public peace.
And a special 5-day awareness campaign was launched across the country on Wednesday, December 31, 2025, to ensure an accident-free end to the year. The campaign was initiated by Yves Landry Galaxy-Toga, Secretary of State to the Minister of Defense in charge of the National Gendarmerie, with the aim of raising awareness amongst road users. Jessica Nziwum tells us more.
At the Okwa Maria Junction in Bafia, just 12 kilometers from the capital on National Highway number 3 at the crack of dawn, men in uniform took up strategic positions on December 31st, 2025. The Special Road Safety Awareness Campaign was in full swing. Here, vigilance was a watchword. Every dangerous maneuver and every case of speeding was immediately sanctioned. The main infractions observed are speed-related. These are behavioral offenses linked to the driver rather than the vehicle, and it is the driver's duty to interpret road signs and adapt accordingly.
Nous ne sommes pas là seulement pour sanctionner, pour réprimer. Alors seules des infractions
we don't punish everything, only actions that cause accidents, like speeding. For other risks, like not using a seat belt, we raise awareness and teach drivers how to protect themselves, whatever the vehicle speed.
On peut sensibiliser le chauffeur à savoir qu'est-ce qu'il devrait faire en ce moment.
However, the objective was not solely punitive. Between checks, awareness leaflets were distributed. For minor offenses, the detachment leader prefers to issue warnings. We notice a reduction in speed during this period because up to 1 p.m. there are relatively few drivers ignoring speed limits. On the A1 highway, speeds tend to be regular around midday, but traffic is still manageable. As you can see, there isn't heavy congestion at this time. We expect traffic to increase in the afternoon as the flow was already beginning to pick up. In the change of scenery in the Sobo Junction, about 8 kilometers away, the situation was just as alarming. Dangerous overtaking and excessive speed turned the roadway into a worrying spectacle. The entrance to the town, the procedure remains the same. Identical rigor, identical checks. The gendarmes maintain a tight watch. Travelers say they feel reassured. I was involved in an accident. My car was damaged and broken glass ended up on the road. But this was normal because the police are present to prevent further incidents. Their role was educational. They aim to teach and guide drivers on the road. Whenever we encounter the police, we stop and present our documents. If there's an issue with your paperwork, they take the time to explain and advise us. The special awareness campaign continues without interruption. Its ultimate objective remains unchanged: to turn the roads into paths of life, not paths of death. The operation was being carried out in strict compliance with the instructions by the Secretary of State to the Minister of Defense in charge of the National Gendarmerie, Galax Landry Etoga.
Away from that, the Yaoundé 3 municipality received hygiene and sanitation supplies donated by the head of state for the well-being of the population on December 31, 2025. This followed a heartfelt gesture by the mayor, Lucas Owona, who organized a large-scale distribution of food. Details in this report.
The population of Yaoundé 3 gathered on December 31st, 2025 to receive equipment donated by the head of state, including 2 dump trucks, 7 tricycles and a caterpillar. The equipment were presented to the public, including parliamentarians, municipal councillors, traditional chiefs and other dignitaries at the town hall Esplanade. I would say that during the last electoral campaign, which spoke of greatness and hope, it's hope that we are living here right now. It has become greatness. Our mayor is very dynamic, and we also have a very great elite. I am so happy to be amongst them so that we can really move forward. This gesture aimed to enhance the working condition of the Fundi community and improve to the town's infrastructure. The equipment will boast the capacity of the Yaoundé 3, enabling it to better serve the population. To present to the population of our district the working equipment that the head of state, Paul Biya, has made available to us as part of improving working conditions in municipalities in general and particularly for the benefit of the population. As it is customary, we have also shared gifts amongst party activists, brothers and militants of the CPDM to celebrate the start of a new year with joy, hope, success and good health. The occasion was also marked by traditional celebration where the community mayor, Lucas Owona, distributed gifts including cows, bags of rice and wine to party activists, traditional leaders and security forces. This gesture was well received by the recipients. The mayor also took advantage of the last day of the year 2025 to celebrate the transition, the 2026 with his community, sharing food and provision, in joyful atmosphere. Everyone, regardless of their community or social status, receive a share of the provision. The mayor took the opportunity to wish the population of Yaoundé 3 a happy new year and express his commitment to working with traditional leaders to develop the locality. The meeting strengthened the bonds between the municipal executive and traditional leaders who play a vital role in the community's development.
And entering tonight's magazine page, the year 2025 stood as a reaffirmation of Cameroon's unwavering commitment to democratic stability and constitutional order. While many regret the forces of disorder and misinformation that sought to undermine unity, much is still hoped for. Jude Kenji has the details in the following commentary.
The year 2025 has been a testament to the enduring strength of Cameroon's democratic institutions and the unwavering commitment for its people to constitutional order. In October, the nation once again demonstrated its democratic maturity through a peaceful presidential election conducted in accordance with the sovereign laws and procedures.
2025 was a year of political anxieties. 2025 was a year of political activity, political dynamism, a lot of people expressed a lot of ambitions. A lot of people expressed a lot of willingness and desires and ambitions to be politically relevant. Some people did it in an extremist or excessive manner. Our country registered the highest record of voter registration in 65 years. More than 8 million Cameroonians registered on the voter registers in 2025. That's a record politically in 2025. That's encouraging, and we should encourage Cameroonians to keep on doing that, because one of the duties and responsibilities of every citizen is to participate in the political life of the nation. The presidential election of October 12 took place hitch-free. It was transparent and it was free and fair. And of the 12 candidates, the then candidate, President Paul Biya, won the election.
The Constitutional Council, the supreme judicial body in electoral matters, definitely proclaimed President Paul Biya as the rightful elected leader. This outcome reflects the will of the Cameroonian people who place their continued trust in President Biya's proven leadership and vision for a stable, united and progressive Cameroon.
We should all condemn, but to make it worse, he actually made declarations encouraging or appealing to young people to go into the streets, according to him, and protect their votes or defend their votes. But I think that what he really meant was, because what we saw in the streets were young people destroying, looting, stealing, and causing violence to the extent that there were injuries and I think there were deaths, unfortunately. But at the end of the day, we should be thankful that politically the constitutional, the institutions did their job. The ECAM did its job according to the law. The Constitutional Council did its job according to the law. And the rest of the constitution and the political process according to the electoral code and the constitution went on without any problem.
Following the announcement of the result, the government's primary and solemn duty was to protect public order, national security, and the safety of all citizens. While the majority of Cameroonians accepted the verdict of the ballot box, a French element, fueled by misinformation and inflammatory rhetoric from defeated candidates, instigated violent untrust. These acts of vandalism, arson against public property, and assault on security forces necessitated a firm response to prevent further loss of life and economic damage. As the government go into the future, the government remains steadfastly focused on its paramount mission, fostering national unity, securing the territory against armed secessionists and terrorist threats, and driving economic growth for all Cameroonians. The challenges are considerable, but under President Paul Biya's continued leadership, they are confident in the path forward. Therefore, calling on all citizens, regardless of political affiliation, to join in the vital work of reconciliation and nation building. Together, they will continue to uphold the peace, stability, and sovereignty of the indomitable Cameroon.
And still on our magazine page, Cameroon has witnessed a disturbing surge in femicide cases, with reports indicating between at least 46 to 170 cases in the year 2025. However, figures vary across sources. Mimi Tiobo throws more light.
The realities faced by women and children are often swallowed up by chaos. Their struggles are brushed aside, their pain normalized, and their voices drawn out. These unfortunate and emblematic acts of extreme gravity point to the alarming enshrinement of the killing of women and children in Cameroon. As of late 2025, various reports provide a wide range of figures on femicide cases in Cameroon, indicating between at least 46 and over 170 reported cases nationwide. Official data from the National Police Service cited 129 cases recorded between January and March 2025 alone. Breakdown of available data for 2025, the National Police Service registered 129 cases between January and March 2025, with a monthly breakdown of 43 cases in January, 42 in February, and 44 in March. A media report claims that 170 women were murdered by February 2025, a figure that contrasts sharply with official police statistics for the same period. According to the Central Bureau of Census and Population Studies, 10 cases were recorded in January 2025 alone. By November 2025, over 46 cases had been reported, according to a gender rights organization. Several tragic cases illustrate the gravity of the situation. Among them is the adoption and murder of Manuela Nyandomo, a 24-year-old doctoral student at the University of Yaoundé-Toussoua. After leaving her family home on the evening of Friday, June 20, 2025, she was kidnapped by criminals who later sent an alarming message to her mother demanding a ransom of 1 1,800,000 CFA francs. Manuela's lifeless body was later discovered in Nengoso, Ngolmekong neighborhood in Yaoundé. Parts of her body, included her breast, had been mutilated. Another horrific case involved the brutal murder of 6-year-old Matisse in the Ngwaikele neighborhood of Yaoundé, where the child was stabbed several times. In Bafoussam, a woman and her daughter were found murdered in their homes, with the perpetrator still on the run. There is also the case of Jumesi Stefan, a first-year mechanical engineering student whose lifeless body was discovered after more than 20 hours of searching. He was found hastily buried by his kidnappers. Menchu Valerie also fell victim after being attacked by thieves in the Bifanga neighborhood in Douala. Equally disturbing is a case of a child found laying in a pool of his own blood, brutally mutilated with his hands tied and his heart removed. Another devastating incident involved 13-year-old Chloe Inzirangende, who was raped and murdered by her sister's boyfriend. These cases underscores the urgent need for stronger protection mechanism, justice for the victim, and decisive actions to curb the rising tide of violence against women and children in Cameroon.
And in sports, Cameroon's national team entered the year 2025 as a fractured institution. Despite this, a new generation of indomitable lions emerged, forging a resilient identity that defies all expectations. A recap in the following reports.
The team's primary focus for the year was the 2025 AFCON in Morocco, but its build-up was dominated by controversy in a dramatic move. Just weeks before the tournament, Fecafoot sacked Belgian coach Marc Brice and replaced him with David Pagu. This led to competing squad lists, with Pagu's selection controversially excluding iconic veterans like goalkeeper Andre Onana and captain Vincent Aboubakar. Despite the chaotic preparation and the significant drop in the FIFA World Ranking to 57th, the new-look squad, captained by defender Nuhu Tolo, showed remarkable unity. They secured a 1-0 opening win against Gabon and fought to a credible 1-1 draw with defending champions Ivory Coast, demonstrating they were not to be underestimated. The year highlighted contributions from both established and emerging talents across Europe's top leagues. Brian Mbeumo, Manchester United, the forward, rediscovered his scoring touch in the Premier League and was a crucial figure for Cameroon. Carlos Baleba, Brighton Hove Albion, the 21-year-old midfielder, was a driving force for both his club and country. Junior Chamando, Stoke City, the right wing back, was a key tactical asset for coach Pagu, scoring the deflected equalizer against Ivory Coast. Emerging defenders, players like 20-year-old Samuel Koto, Gent, impressed with classy performances, hitting at a bright future for the national defense. 2025 was less a story of consistent individual excellence and more one of collective resilience amid dysfunction. The exclusion of veteran stars underscored a painful but accelerated transition. The administrative battles between Eto's Federation and the Sports Ministry created an unstable environment that players had to overcome. Ultimately, the team's ability to bond under new coach David Pagu and perform competitively at AFCON stands as the year's most significant achievement. It suggests a foundation of talent and spirit upon which Cameroon can build, provided the off-field governance finds stability.
And that information takes us to the end of tonight's edition. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for watching and enjoy the rest of your evening. Happy New Year.